Cryptid 559. So we're out here in the outskirts of Dinuba, in between Dinuba and Visalia, California. What you're seeing right now is Dinuba. We're out in the country. I'm out here with my brother. He's going to explain what he saw last week. Around this time, it's around 8 o'clock in the evening. It's almost a full moon there. And he was coming back from Visalia. And he's going to tell you what he saw in the sky. And just before he starts telling you, I'm going to tell you that they've been reporting a few reports of the last few weeks of black triangle, well, the triangles again in the valley in Fresno. And I just heard one today it's near this area. Someone saw last week, someone saw the triangle also hovering in the same area. So I'm going to have my brother, he's going to explain what he saw. And I'll just have the camera with the full moon here. So, all right, so go ahead and tell me what you saw that night or last week.
September 25th, around 8:40 in the evening, I was returning back from Visalia on using road or Alta, going towards Dinuba. So the sky was pretty clear that day. You could actually see some of the stars, the moon, and you have a good clear skies, clear enough to see aircraft in the sky heading towards the Fresno Yosemite Airport. Dinuba and Reedley are right underneath the flight path, so it's not uncommon to see things flying over these cities. That particular night, you could see an object. What looked like an orb. I didn't see any triangle, but it definitely, just from the distance, it looked like an orb of red and blue, white lights in a regular type of flashing pattern. You saw the lights flashing in like a regular pattern you would see with aircraft. And I'm talking to my partner um, in our truck, and
Because you guys were working, right?
we're working together. We're heading back from Visalia, from the hospital, back to the city.
Okay.
And so out of the corner of my eye, I'd already seen this light, so I'm thinking it was an aircraft heading to Fresno Yosemite Airport, no big deal. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a light kind of do like this big giant circle, and it goes from one light to two very similar size objects with the same color pattern. And the second object made this big loop and made this loop right in front of the first object and stopped. Both objects are now stopped in the middle of the sky, and I looked at my partner. I'm like, "Hey, did you just see what I just saw?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I did." And we both kind of explained what we both saw, and we explained exactly what I just said. We saw this one orb split into the same size and stop in front of each other. The second orb that split, after it stopped momentarily in front of the first original orb, started heading back down the regular flight path of what would be the Fresno Yosemite Airport, and it was at an accelerated pace. I wouldn't say it was supersonic or anything that was uh, really fast, but it was just faster than it was previously. The other orb stayed in place for at least a minute. Didn't move, didn't do anything.
So the orb, you said the orb came. So there was one orb, and then another one came from the bottom or from behind it, or
It looked like, well, from my vantage point, it came from behind it, so from the north side. I couldn't see it. It didn't drop or didn't go up. I just saw something come out from it, could swing around and stop in front of the first original orb. And like I said, it stopped there momentarily for a few seconds, and then at a more rapid pace, it took off down the same path that it looked like it was originally on. The original orb stayed in the air and didn't move. It continued to flash its lights like it was earlier, and it stayed there for at least a minute. After about a minute, it started slowly um, trans, uh, transitioning down back to its original path, and as it got out of what looked like over Dinuba Reedley area, it started to accelerate much faster, and eventually it became out of vantage or viewpoint. I couldn't no longer see it as we were driving. It was really like an odd sight. It was very noticeable.
So you saw one bright light, and then you saw it come out from like another one come out from behind it into the in front of it. You said,
Mm-hmm.
but at a little distance away from the main one,
No, like almost touching.
touching really, and
Almost.
going at the same speed, or
They stopped. They were both
they were
midair.
hovering.
Hovering, I guess.
It was hovering, huh? And then did another one come out?
No. So the original
Okay.
one, the original one stayed in place, and the one that split from the original one, after momentarily stopping in front of each other,
Uh-huh.
it went back. It took off down the flight path,
To like Fresno,
like Fresno.
and they were both bright
They're
white,
both the same colors. They're both the same size.
white color.
Whitish, reddish, bluish kind of colors.
Huh.
Kind of, it was mostly red. It would be what you would see like on aircraft, red and white, but there was a hint of blue on it. And it, like I said, it stuck out in the sky because of the smoke. You know, it's really hazy, and this object seemed to be either really low enough below the smoke, or it was just that bright. It stuck out more than the stars or the moon.
Oh. So was it like this one? This one's coming right over us right
Well,
now.
So like I said, this was like the very similar patterns, same colors. I would say just a little bit brighter, and it were more constant, like really bright lights,
Brighter than those?
brighter than those. And
And you can.
you can see the pace this one is. It's really like kind of slow, and you can still track it, no big deal.
Yeah.
But what I saw was this light come out from this, like another object come out from it very rapidly, fly in front of this one. This one stopped midair, then the other one came in very quickly and stopped in front of it midair.
But it was about this height, like
Yeah, it would be about this height. Like that's why I didn't think anything of it, because this is like this is the normal flight path for the Fresno Yosemite.
right. So this one's heading to Fresno, guys. Okay, this plane's heading to
They're
Fresno.
gonna go line up the runway. This is the same flight path hundreds of planes take all the time. That's why it didn't look out of order. It didn't look abnormal.
Right.
But like I said, within us, what caught our eye was a quick succession of another vehicle that came out from behind it,
From behind it.
and then stopped right in front of it. Made this really big U-turn and stopped right in front of both air or whatever those things were. Stopped midair, paused for momentarily, and then the second object took off like faster at that than this pace that you're looking at.
Faster than this
So
this
it was
plane here.
moving like maybe double this pace, or a little, maybe even triple this pace, because it was out of my field of vision very quickly. While the other object stayed in place for about a minute, and after about a minute, it started doing the same thing. It took off back down the same path.
And that red light, guys, that you're seeing at the bottom, that's the water tower. Okay, that's Dinuba's water tower there. So again, that plane is heading to Fresno, and that's the way the objects that my brother saw were heading. At least both of them, or one of them, right?
Both of them
Yeah,
eventually.
eventually the second one, the original one, headed that way also. So yeah, guys, there's stuff going on these last few weeks. I tell you, there has been reports of triangles. I already heard of 2 of them already, and now my brother's was like an orb-shaped flying object. With the second one,
That's the second time the band's popped up.
and so yeah, guys. So we're gonna be heading out. Just wanted to share that encounter with you guys.